Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com, and today we're going to talk about positioning on the bench press. So when it comes to positioning, getting yourself in the correct position is often going to influence your rack height. And that is the point of today's video. When you're in a good position on the bench, you may actually need to adjust your rack height. You may actually need to come up in rack height to be efficient. Because oftentimes I see lifters adapt their positioning on the bench. They're setting up a little further back. They're in a more optimal starting position, but then they never change their rack height as a result. And if you are set up in a correct position, but your rack height's too low, that can really throw off an unrack process. So you want to make sure not only are you getting in the right position, but then you're also making sure the rack height is reflective in that positioning. So to go over correct positioning in the bench press with you, typically most lifters will think eyes under the bar, when in reality that might be good for some, but for many you actually need to be a little bit further back. I myself set up with my eyes behind the bar, all right, because what we're ultimately trying to do is we know where we want to take that bar, right? It's going to be right over sternum nipple line area, right? Bring that bar out, sweet spot right there. Okay, we just want to have a short gap between where this bar is sitting in the rack and then ultimately where we're going to position it without running the risk of hitting the rack. That's a key. Okay, we want a short gap, because if we're trying to take this bar all the way out, we're going to have issues. If it's a short drop, we're good to go. So I'm going to show you what a good short efficient takeout looks like. So oftentimes lifters will set up with their eyes under the bar or a little bit below, and what ends up happening is it's an inefficient takeout. So if I'm down here, right, first off, I'm reaching behind me. I'm not in a good position where I can really get my lats tight, and the bar being over my shoulders, I'm even doing a self unrack this way, I'd have to almost overhead press this thing. I can't just drag out efficiently with my lats. So if I'm in this type of position here, right, watch how far that bar has to travel. All right, I have to clear all this distance before I'm finally in position. I'm a good foot and a half out from the rack. This is going to influence my rack height, because if I had this rack any higher up, right, I would be fully extended. I would not be in a good position. Okay, but in reality, I might be better off with this rack higher up once I change position. So once you know what position you need to be in, which is right here, maybe behind the bar a little bit more. Watch how efficient this is. I'm right there. Okay, and you can see how small that gap is versus what it was before. Now that I adjusted my positioning, I may find that this rack height is actually a little bit short. So if I feel like my elbows are pretty bent here, I want to be as close to lockout without being locked out as possible, so that when I clear this lip, I'm right there at lockout. Okay, so I would actually pop these up so that if I grab the bar here, I just drag right out in a position I'm locked. Okay, I don't actually need to press up or get a handoff up in order to get those elbows extended. So where you set up in terms of your body on the bench press is going to be a huge determinant of what rack height you use. And again, we know the importance of the rack height being efficient, right? We want to just drag that bar in a position and be very close to lockout. We don't actually want to exert energy pressing that bar, and that is also going to create a poor loading pattern. When we can engage our lats early, take that bar out, get to a locked out position, and just worry about sinking that bar into the pad, we're going to be much more efficient with our press than if we have to do all that while trying to tricep extend and actually press the bar up to lockout, or rely on someone else to take us there with a big pull upright. There you have it, guys. Make sure that if you adjust your positioning on the bench, which can typically happen a lot at meets, a lot of times I will adjust my athlete positioning on the bench if I see something, then we have to consider rack height. Okay, you want the rack height to work in synchrony with your positioning on the pad in order to get the best results possible. Coach Ben here. And you know, where to find me. You can meet me. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to learn more about how to increase your bench press, consider joining us in our Better Benching Academy. To learn more, simply click the link down below in the description box or visit bigbenchas.com/BB Academy. I'll see you there.